Good evening, Brigadiers. I have become concerned as the Jerrys have been wearing some awfully heavy armour recently, haven't they? And I don't know. And their technology is bumping ahead. They've got a rift, you know, and they're getting hints. I think they're getting hints. So what do we do? What do we do to experiment? Well, what we do to experiment with new weapons to reply to this menace is we call in the Grenadiers. Oh yes. It falls to the Grenadiers to test small arms being developed by the boffins, by the lab experts, and so if an assault rifle's invented, it's these gents that have to go out and test it. And I think they've also got special heavier weapons too. So I think Tesla type rifles as well that they can use. I think those acts like kind of machine gun stroke a little bit, you know, something a bit heavier with a little bit of armour penetration to eat into those Jerry bits of heavy armour and some of the nasty creatures they unleash. So there we go, you get 10 in the pack. Pretty good. Got these from Goblin Games up there in, I think it's Northwich, where we played a game and videoed a game recently. Let's go ahead and open it. It's cellophaned. No idea how I'm going to get through that. Well, of course I do know, don't I? Yes. To get through this impenetrable barrier, I shall use Caliburn. Oh yes. So in we go. Excited I am. Let's see. I've not gone into one of these before, so I don't. We've not done badly. Not done bad. There we go. We got that right first time. Very good. Ooh. Gonna smell the new box because I'm weird and there's nothing like it, is there? Nothing like it. There we go. So there's some cellophane there. I don't know where to get rid of that. Somewhere proper where it's going to be well attended to environmentally. There we go. Perfect. So in we go. Excited I am. I'm enjoying Konflikt 47 actually. I really, really am. It's time to kind of move on to a bit more infantry. So I've been using very standard infantry so far, which works. I mean, you can use your bolt action armies in Konflikt 47. It's a very linked game by the same people with very similar rules. There's nothing wrong with using your normal infantry, but you know, try something different as well, shouldn't we? Definitely. So more for variation than game advantage. If there's a huge game advantage, I don't know. Maybe I won't use them as much. I don't know. So here first we have a key. Now I saw this in my airborne box when I got that and videoed that too. So this will have a great, judging by the other one, a great introduction to the Sprues and will help me navigate that as well. So let's have a quick look at that and I'll come back before I go on to the Sprues proper. So having a quick look at this key here, this looks like a key for kind of your standard Grenadiers, and it's really nice. I've got to say the amount of weapon options you get are great, so it gives us a clue as how to put things together as well. So on one side we've got the gents themselves, we've got bases on the Sprues as well. Super. So half of that's going to get used, and then I think you've got the metal parts for the, you know, the alternative Grenadiers with the special weapons. So we'll come to that in a bit. So we'll stick with the normal stuff first. So there we are, the heads and bodies. Pretty easy to put together, I think. Quite chunky. So the large end of your 28mm type scale. So the weapon sprue, we've got Lee Enfields aplenty, as you'd expect and want, wouldn't you? You've got, I think you've got a bag of barrels there for the Bren gun. I like the Bren gun too. Little carry handle there. I do like a Bren gun, so I do. I'd love to shoot one of those one day. Bit of a bucket list I'd like to have them. It would be lovely, wouldn't it? Got the odd Sten gun on there as well. Got Mills bombs as well. You can like hand grenades that you can put on individually. So I quite like that. I think I like these. I like them. I really like the weapon sprue. I think there's a lot of variation on there. So yeah, like it. There's even little, I think it's a 2-inch mortar there. Is it 2-inch? 2-inch mortar, very smooth cutting. I think you'll agree, smooth editing. So yeah, wonderful. Like that a lot. Oh, and I love the 3 different sizes of pistol there. So you've got your semi-automatic there, I think. You've got a Webley. Gotta love a Webley. Little pistols there they used to use, and one in a holster. So I like these little details. So I like this. Quite chunky. Like it. It's okay. Really like all the different weapons you can have. As a bit of a war game where I like the options that can give me for putting together other units in future. So though I probably won't be using a lot of this because the whole point of this pack is about the special weapons from the future, as it were. That's a really nice sprue, and it's certainly going to be kept in the bits box and used, I hope, extensively on other projects. So let's look at what changes this from a bolt action box to a Konflikt 47 box. I think that's in this here heavy bag. It's the metal pieces, and a little note in here. What's the little note say? Let's have a look. It says it was packed for you by Becky. Well, thank you very much, Becky. We appreciate your work there. So, what do we have? We have, these look like heavier guns. So I think the heavier guns in the K-47 Grenadier squads are the Tesla guns or Tesla rifles. I don't quite know what they're called yet because I'm still learning. And that looks like them. Now you've got the gun there and you've got both arms attached. And that's going to make it easier to put together. And you customize as easily? Maybe not. Is it a lot easier to put together for people like me that want it for wargaming? Yes, it's more convenient. And I'm sure you out there who are more artist and artisan than I will be able to chop and cut and bend and put flame on and do whatever you do, your magic to bend arms into place if you want to do anything different when you're doing your modelling project. So there we go, that's them. What do we have here? Ooh, they look like specialist heads. Oh, goggles on. Maybe they've got infrared vision or something like that, because again, I'm not quite au fait with the rules yet. So that's pretty ace. So the heads are not standard. Let's see how close we can bring that and still see if we can keep it in focus. There we are. Is that in focus? So we've got, yeah, heads. So you've got helmets on with kind of goggles, which is ace. There you go, more of those. 10 of them, I would imagine. There we are. Super. And we're left with more weapons. So they look like, I don't know, kind of normal guns? Well, normal for Grenadiers anyway, because I think the normal weapons that the Grenadiers carry are assault rifles, if I remember correctly. So I think some of them can use normal guns. You can have normal rifles if you want, but I think you can swap them out and you can have all of your squad with specialist weapons. So counting out, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It looks like 8 assault rifles, and then we've got what looks to be a loading, like a box for a loader with 2 arms attached, and the Tesla gun there. It's all cast in metal, reasonable quality cast there. A little bit of flashing on, so I'll have to clean up a little. Now, I think, again, I might be wrong because I'm quite new to the game, but I think that you can have 2 Tesla weapons in a squad. But there only seems to be one here, but there are enough guns to equip the whole squad with weapons. So I think it's done on purpose. I don't know where I'm going to get another Tesla gun. I think I might have to raid the bits box for something to kind of attach to one of these guns and make it look more bulky and make it look more Tesla-y. Because that's a word, isn't it? Tesla-y, do you think? Maybe it's a military term. So yes, I might have to convert. So let's put some of these together, shall we? There we go, thrown together. And easy they were, actually. The hardest ones were the kneeling down gents. with the legs separate. You just join them at the hip, pop the torso on top. The other ones, the guy standing, the torso's already on the legs, just one piece of plastic. So pop onto the bases, and then the arms already attached to the guns made it very easy for me to attach with super glue to the plastic torsos. A little bit of bending in and out to get them to fit, and they went on dead easy, and then just the heads. So very simple models to build, and they look really effective. It's got the little loader there, and the guy with his Tesla rifle. I can't see the one I've done, but I put a bit of plastic spruing. I think it was actually I've clipped a bit off of a mortar. There we are. Clipped a bit off of a mortar and just extended his barrel a bit, so he's going to be the second Tesla person. And I might put a pack on the back of someone else, so he'll be his loader instead. So those are about ready to paint, and then the sprue, I've got a generous amount of extra stuff. So I've used nothing really on that sprue at all. So we've got a whole sprue of weaponry for future projects. That's really good. That's very generous. I like that a lot. And then all of these arms, legs for projects, I clipped off, as I say. There's a pack as well that I didn't notice when we went through first time. There's a pack with a mortar in it. So you've got two 2-inch mortars on the sprue, which is brilliant, I think. And then I didn't notice originally. You learn things, don't you, when you go through a sprue? So I certainly do. Here, the very cool helmet. Some are smooth, some have got the kind of webbing on the top that you'd put camouflage through. I assume that's what it's for. I'm not an expert. So there are lots of little details that I didn't notice first off that are on the sprue. So definitely one to explore and have fun with. So as I say, loads of bits, loads of packs that I can use for stowage on vehicles. So very good. Those sprues, bit box heaven. This set, I would say. So what do you think? Time to put some paint on, perhaps? Yeah, let's do that. There we are, commanders. The Grenadiers are ready to move forwards and experiment on some Germans with their assault rifles and their Tesla rifles. I think they look ready. Don't you? You'll do a better job on the paint than I will, being no artist or artisan. But I had great fun putting these together. I think they're ready for the tabletop now. I've got a Rubicon. I'm a personnel carrier actually that I'm seeking to put these in, because I've got the paras and they come in by parachute and light trucks and jeeps, etc. I've just thought for these guys they're going to want some heavier transport, so yeah, I'll be putting that together in a future video, I hope. So yeah, I think these look great, and also, as I've mentioned, lots of bits, and I do like a box of models where I've got bits for later. So I've got loads of stuff that I can put in my bits box and use another time. So thank you very much for joining me. And remember, when you are using experimental weapons in combat, never forget your power coils, will you? No. Stay safe, everyone. Take care.